Well, Don, we're all set to watch Beakman.
Yes, Herb, I got everything ready. I got the TV dinners and everything.
What are we having?
Tonight we got frozen anchovies, iced tea, and a side of Beakman.
My favorite. Yum.
Fact. Of all the species of plants and animals that have ever lived on Earth, only 1% is alive today.
I'm alive.
I'm dead. I'm Beakman, and you've just broken into Beakman's world.
That's right. No. Don't worry. There's plenty of room in the costume for the two of us.
Okay, gang. Time to do it to it.
Here's a question from Henry Luzinski of Great Falls, Montana. Dear Beakman, how high can you build a skyscraper?
Ooh, towering question, Hank. Skyscrapers. Man-made mountains of steel and glass. Whole cities on a single block. Here's the first skyscraper, the Home Insurance Building, completed in 1885 in Chicago. It rose to a colossal height of 10 stories.
So, Beakman, how tall can you build a skyscraper?
Well, Liza, before I can answer that question, we have to understand how in the world they build these engineering marvels.
Oh, easy. First, you find a place to build it. And if there's already a building there, get rid of it.
Good start, Lester. Now you've got to build your foundation. That's the part of the building that's built below the ground. In other words, before you can go up, you gotta go down. Going down. Just like the sail on a sailboat, the surface of a skyscraper catches a lot of wind. A typical sailboat has less than 1,000 square feet of sail area, but a little bit of wind can push it around the world. A typical skyscraper has a lot more area for wind to push against. In fact, in a windstorm, a skyscraper can have as much as 10.5 million pounds of wind force trying to knock it over. If we imagine that the building is a lever and the ground is its fulcrum, we can see how the building uses the weight of the ground around it to keep it from falling over. For even more support, many skyscrapers have their foundations attached to bedrock, part of the Earth's crust. That kind of makes the whole Earth their foundation. Whoa.
So that's the answer, isn't it, Beakman? If you can build a strong enough foundation, you can build your skyscraper as tall as you want.
Well, there's a little more to it than that. See, another thing that decides how tall a building can be is its skeleton.
You mean buildings have bones?
Yes, bones of steel. In the old days, they built buildings out of stone and bricks. But stone and bricks are heavy. If you built your building too high, it would crumble and turn to dust under its own weight. That's why the tallest brick building ever built was only 16 stories high.
Coming down!
But a framework of steel is 10 times stronger than stone and weighs only 1/3 as much. Plus, steel can bend. A skyscraper can sway as much as 12 feet in a big storm, rather than blowing down as a brick building might.
So, if you build your skyscraper with a skeleton of steel, the sky is not the limit.
Let's build a skyscraper.
Building!
Back it up. Whoa.
Okay, easy now. Bring it down here.
Steady.
Watch yourself there.
A little ladder.
Yeah, that's it.
A skyscraper's bones are called columns, girders, and beams. And the steel skeletons are built by people of steel. Ironworkers brave danger, gravity, and greasy takeout food to assemble skyscrapers to dizzying heights. Bada bing, bada bang, bada building.
Oh, nice skyscraper. But isn't it a little bit drafty?
This is only the skeleton.
That's me.
We still have to hang the walls. In the old days, a building's walls held it up. But in a skyscraper, the skeleton holds it up. So the walls are really more like skin. Liza, let's hang the walls.
Hanging!
The walls keep the stuff inside, like people and air conditioning and water coolers, inside. They also keep the stuff outside, like the cold and rain and love-struck gorillas, outside.
Okay, Ray, bring on down!
Bada bing! Building!
Is the Empire State Building still the tallest skyscraper?
That little pipsqueak? Why, there are 3 buildings even taller. 2 of them are the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. They're a whopping 1,379 feet tall, each. And in Chicago, the Windy City, the Sears Tower stands at a cloud-piercing 1,454 feet. That's 110 stories. And its skeleton is 76,000 tons of steel. Enough to build 52,000 cars. So, Henry Luzinski of Great Falls, Montana, that's why skyscrapers can be as tall as they can.
Coming up next, it's not the Beakman Challenge.
No,
It's not the Liza Challenge.
it's not that either.
It's not even the Lester Challenge.
Then what is it?
The Scratchy Challenge.
This you gotta see. So come back to us, please.
Beakman's World must now take a beaker break. And now, back to Beakman's World.
Anti-up.
It's time to mangle your mainframe. Here he is, the Buccaneer of Bafflement, the freebooter of free thinking, the Monty Rock of scientific shock, the one, the only, the Beakman.
You saute him, I'll flambe him. Let's fandango. Anybody know the fandango?
Who would want to?
Liza, welcome to the letter bin. You've won 200 tons of tin.
This one's from Troy Bird of Mount Gilead, Ohio. Question, dear Beakman, do you and Don King have the same hairdresser?
Answer, no, we certainly do not. But my barber does use this Don King head mold as a guideline when he cuts my hair.
Question,
Hold everything. I would like to introduce somebody.
Lester, we're right in the middle of Beakmania.
Keep your teeth in. It won't take but a second. Everybody, say hello to Scratchy the chicken.
Lester, that's not a chicken. That's your hand.
Oh, sure, he looks like a hand, but he's a consummate actor. Observe. Scratchy frightened. Scratchy hailing a cab. Scratchy looking at himself in the mirror.
Will you get him out of here?
Look at that, Don. They got another bird on the show.
Oh, don't worry, Herb. That bird's only a puppet.
Phew.
Question, what happened happens if you grab a crab by one leg?
Answer, sometimes the leg will break off, allowing the critter to make a getaway. And here's the amazing part. Crabs have the ability to grow a new leg. That process is called regeneration.
And if you take the old leg and dip it in butter, the process is called lunch.
Thank you, Scratchy.
Question. How come Liza has to ask all the questions?
Wait a minute, Liza. Quit that query, because it's time for...
The Scratchy Challenge. Okay, Lester, I challenge you to lift this ice cube off this plate using only this piece of string.
Oh, well, that's easy. You just tie the string around the ice cube.
What are you, a maroon? No tying is allowed.
Oh, okay. Now let me ponder this. Ice cube. String. Nah, can't be done.
Yeah. Not so, fatso ratso. Watch and learn. First, we wet one end of the string.
Oh, here you go, Mr. Scratchy.
You want to hold this, Lester?
Yes, I'll hold it for you, Scratchy.
Then, we place the end of the string that's wet on top of the ice cube. Like so. Next, we sprinkle some salt on it. Thank you, Ray.
At your service, Mr. Scratchy.
Next, we wait 2 minutes. Okay, we're back. Now, when I lift the string, watch what happens.
Whoa! That is something short of amazing, Scratchy. How did it work?
What's it worth to you?
Cut, stop tape, hang on. Lester, this is ridiculous. Now, come on, put Stinky away.
His name is Scratchy, and he was just about to explain to the folks at home what it is that's happening here, and I, for one, would like to find out.
Lester, if you don't know, Scratchy can't tell you, because Scratchy is you!
Well,
What is it?
Oh, yeah? Listen up, big brains. Know how when there's ice on the roads, they put salt on it to make the road slushy and not slippery for traffic? That's because salt lowers the freezing point of water.
Well, true, but how did you do...
So it makes ice melt. When we sprinkled salt on the ice cube, the ice started to melt around the end of the string.
What?
That melting ice diluted the salt, so the freezing point started to rise again. Then the ice cube refroze the water around the string. The string stuck to the ice cube, and as you would say, bada bing, bada bang, bada string.
Wow, that's absolutely correct. Lester, let's give him a hand.
oh no! Scratchy, speak to me!
Scratchy has left the building.
Coming up next, fun with cabbage. And you can take it from this doll. You're in for some really cool chemistry experiments. Don't go far.
Beakman's World will be back in a flash. And now, back to Beakman's World.
I'm hairy for a query. Rush one by me, Liza.
Here's one I can part with. It's from Emma Bowers of Tijeras, New Mexico. Dear Beakman, my parents won't buy me a chemistry set.
Talk to them.
Terrific letter, Emma. Chemistry sets are great, but if you don't have one, you can still have fun with chemistry in your own home. First, you need some chemicals.
But Beakman, that's why Emma wrote the letter. She doesn't have a chemistry set, so she doesn't have chemicals.
Of course she does. We all do. We have chemicals all over our house, in our refrigerators, our bathrooms, our cars.
Our bodies are made of chemicals.
Chemically correct, my cunning compadre. One fun experiment you can do at home is to test chemicals to see if they're acids or bases.
Not that kind of a base.
Oh, sorry.
That kind of base.
Scientists can tell the difference between these two kinds of chemicals using something called an indicator.
If you try any of our experiments, make sure that you do them with a grown-up and that you follow our instructions. Most important, be careful.
All you gotta know about indicators is that different chemicals make them change color. That's why we use an indicator to tell us if a chemical is an acid or a base.
Beakman, this is a really dumb question, and I'm embarrassed to be asking it, but...
It's right down the hall and to your left.
Not that, oh ye of the toilet fixation. I wanted to know what acids and bases are.
That's not a dumb question, Liza. Acids are a family of chemicals that have a sour taste, and some can give you a tickling or burning feeling when you touch them. But that doesn't mean you should taste or touch them. We use acids all the time to start our cars, to digest our food. Bases are another family of chemicals, and even though they might give you a burning feeling too, they can neutralize acids. That is,
Make them not be acids anymore.
we're going to use an acid-base indicator made from a red cabbage. Here's our red cabbage acid-base indicator. Thank you, Ray. We ground up a red cabbage in a blender with a little distilled water, then strained off the cabbage. Watch what happens when I pour the indicator into these beakers of acids and bases.
I don't know why you even bother. Obviously, the liquid is just gonna turn maroon like the cabbage juice.
We'll see who the maroon is in just a moment, Lester. And I promise you that what you're about to see uses no trick photography.
Delicious.
Bada bing, bada bang, bada base.
Ada acid.
How'd you do that?
Well, I simply took the B off of each butter and...
No. I mean, how did Beakman do that with the pointing and the colors and the changing?
In each of these beakers are different chemicals you can find in your kitchen. Here are our acids in order of acidity, starting with the most acidic, vinegar, then vitamin C, lemon lime soda, and grapefruit juice. This is water, neither acid nor base. And our bases, milk, antacid, baking soda, and the basest of all our bases, ammonia.
Warning, warning, warning.
Ammonia, by the way, can be very dangerous. So if you gotta use it, be sure to always have an adult present. Keep it off your skin, out of your eyes, and never, ever breathe it in.
Amazing! He did all that just with stuff found in the average kitchen.
So, Emma Bowers of New Mexico, to this chemistry set, your folks can't say no.
Coming up next, it's messy, it's gooey, and you can do it in the comfort and privacy of your own home sweet home. Hurry back. to our home sweet home.
Beakman's World will be back after these messages. And now, back to Beakman's World.
Behold, baking soda, a common household base. And lo and behold, vinegar, a common household acid. Check out what happens when they get together.
I know what's happening. When you combine the sodium bicarbonate of the baking soda with the acetic acid of the vinegar, one of the things you get is carbon dioxide. That's what makes all those bubbles.
Here's looking at goo, kid.
And we'll be looking at all of goo next time.
On Beakman's World.
You know, Herb, if the South Pole is our summer home,
Right.
how come we're not turning tan?
It's too cold. We don't turn tan, we turn blue.
Oh, good. Would you rub some of this bluing oil on my back?
And that's oil for now, folks.
Beakman's